I'm going to be showing you the fastest, smartest way to get your first client from scratch, from zero to something, from scratch to something. So I'm going to be showing you, and everything is written here. I'm going to be taking you through a step by step process, what to do, how to do it, and all the tea. So let's get started. So the first thing to do, if I was a newbie, like I was starting all over again, this is 2025, I have no clients, I'm trying to learn a skill. In fact, I don't have any skill. I'm trying to learn a skill, get clients, start earning through my digital skills and all of that. What would I do? Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is learn a skill. Learn a high earning skill. And when I say high earning skill, I don't mean skills that people are earning from, because people look at other people and they're like, oh, this girl is earning from writing, I should learn writing. This person is earning from the graphics design, I should learn it. No. Find out what skills are in demand, because more than just whether other people are earning or not, the things that determine whether you would get money in the skill or not are just a lot, right? So it's just better to find skills that are in demand, skills that would be in demand in the years to come, right? So find a skill in demand. What skills are people looking for? What skills do you see everywhere? People asking about AI prompt engineering, software engineering, this, that, a lot. Just learn the skill, right? That's the first thing to do. Now, where do you learn the skill from? There are several platforms to learn skills. There's Udemy, there's Coursera, there's YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. And then there are individual places to learn a skill. So when you're trying to learn a skill, find someone who is very good at that skill and ask them to teach you. Go to their LinkedIn, reach out to them on Instagram, reach out to them anywhere. Ask them for the courses that they took. Ask them if they have their own personal courses, because sometimes the courses that would impact you the most are not even those mainstream courses that you see on YouTube, Udemy, Coursera. No, they're actually courses made by people who have been in your shoes, right? When I was starting out content writing, one thing I was looking for was courses by Nigerian content writers. People who have made it big in this field, people who are in my own circumstances and are still making something out of themselves using the skill. That was something I was looking for. And that was how I found my mentor, Stella. I found her through a book club that I was in at that time. So it's literally not, there's no hard and fast rule. Find someone and learn the skill, right? Number 2 is build a portfolio. When you have learned the skill, nobody's going to take your word for it. They want to see what you have done, right? And I always say this, that it is very, very wrong to think that not everybody needs to have a portfolio. Every single digital skill needs a portfolio. Now, this is not you making hair or sewing dresses that you would actually not need to put something. Even, in fact, in this day and age, every skill, whatever it is, teaching, hairdressing, fashion designing, every skill needs a portfolio. Photography, everything really. And so you cannot lose out on your clients by saying you don't need a portfolio. Whether you're an educator, you're a business executive, you're an SEO specialist, whatever skill it is, build a portfolio. Now, what should be in your portfolio? The first thing is the work you've done. Yes, if you say, oh, I'm a newbie, I've not done any work, that brings me to volunteering. Volunteer your services. There are a lot of places to find volunteer opportunities, internship opportunities, even if you just volunteer for 1 week or 1 month. Really, I know when I was starting out, I was looking out for a lot of volunteer opportunities in the US and the UK, because people also would love to hire you when they know that you have worked with international clients, right? So one thing you must do is look out for clients in the US and the UK who are looking for volunteers. You can start with non-governmental organizations, non-profits. Just search for them online. Whatever SDG you're passionate about, search for them online. Whether you're passionate about girls or passionate about children, search for these groups online. Reach out to them and tell them that you want to volunteer with them. And that'll be it. They're not paying you. You're not getting anything. All you need is just that experience, right? So when you've put your work in your portfolio, if you have a skill where your work, for example, a virtual assistant, right? How do you make a portfolio? Record yourself doing what you would do for a client. Imagine you had a client who wanted you to schedule meetings, to create a client link, to do this and to do that. Record yourself, do a screen recording of yourself doing that for the client, right?
That's what you should put in your portfolio. The next thing that should be in your portfolio is your results. We don't just want to see what you've done. What are the results that you've gotten from what you've done? Right? So if you wrote 3 articles for a client and those articles helps the client to scale their business to a particular level of revenue, do that. Say that. If it helps the client's blog to rank number one on Google search, say that. If your design helps them to reach a certain number of people through their ad campaign, say that. Right? Include your results. Now, the third thing you should include in your portfolio is your recommendations. Now, you don't need to do great work to get good recommendations. All you need to do is volunteer. Number two, ask a friend. On LinkedIn, you can literally just send a link to someone and just say, please write me a recommendation. And they would write you a recommendation without even working with you, right? And this obviously this has to be like your friend, people you have worked with in other responsibilities, even if not in that digital skill that you're learning. So include recommendations and your portfolio is complete, right? So the next step is a CV. Now, a CV is not very important because if you're applying for a freelance role, a lot of times they don't really ask for CVs, right? But just to be on the safe side, make a CV. Now, what will you put in your CV? The exact same things you put in your portfolio, aside the recommendations. What did you do? Who did you do it for? And what results did you achieve? Simple. Write if you've never worked for a company like an actual company, you can just write freelance. Just write the title of your role: content writer, freelance, self-employed from 2020 to 2025. Finish. Remote, that's your location. And then write all the things you did. Wrote several copies. Don't say several, put a number. Remember, put a number, put your results, and that's it. That's your resume. If you need a resume template, please tell me in the comments and I would send you mine. If you need to see my portfolio, also ask in the comments and I'm going to send you that too. So the next thing is start applying for jobs. Now I want to say the length of time, the duration between when you learn the skill and when you apply for jobs shouldn't be forever. Because a lot of people spend ages learning a skill and they never get to the stage where they apply for jobs. And you just end up shooting yourself in the foot because you just keep learning and learning and learning. There are a lot of people that would hire you and pay you for what you know right now, for the little you know right now. There are a lot of people that would hire you and pay you for it. So don't shortchange yourself. Don't feel like you don't know enough. Start applying for jobs. Now, how do you start applying for jobs as a newbie? The first thing you have to do is job boards. Job boards are very important because most times people there do not have like people that do not have profiles where they show their experiences, their previous experiences. So clients hire based on your proposal, based on your samples that you show. That's what clients hire based on, right? So what do? Look for jobs that suits the skill that you learned. Send a proposal. If you need to know how to send the best proposals for job boards, I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to talk about the best hacks for using Upwork, and that's something you should watch and you should use, right? So the next thing you can do is, apart from job boards, the next thing you can do is cold DMs, cold emails, cold pitches, and cold DMs. Now you may just be starting out and you may not have a LinkedIn account yet. Start growing your LinkedIn. Connect with people that you want to work with. Connect with 20% your colleagues and 80% people you want to work with, right? So when you do that, you're connecting with people that you would likely send cold DMs to, right? So connect with them, send them cold DMs. I'm also going to make a video that shows you how to send great cold DMs, cold pitches, cold emails. The next thing is to generate emails using tools. For example, you can use Apollo, you can use Hunter.io, you can use Lemlist to get people's emails from their website, from their LinkedIn accounts, and send them cold emails. Right. Then also, if you have not watched my video on how to get a remote job client on Instagram without having an optimized profile, you should, because that's another way to get a job if you're a newbie. Go to Instagram, go to Twitter, and look for clients there. You don't have to have an optimized profile. You don't have to have thousands of followers. You don't have to even be the best in your industry. All you have to do is get their attention, reach out to them, and get your job. Now, cold DMs is a strategy and a numbers game. So you don't expect to send just 2 cold DMs and get a reply. It happens, but it may not happen, right? So while you're getting your strategy together, you're trying to send a DM that is compelling, that people cannot say no to. You should also know that you would send a lot of cold DMs, you send a lot of cold pitches and cold emails, and that's just the game, right? Don't be phased if you get rejections and all of that. It's part of the game as well. So I've talked about cold DMs and job boards. Now the next thing is Boolean search. I'm going to have a full video on Boolean search because I mean it's a great way to get low competition jobs from Google, from LinkedIn, from Twitter, from anywhere really. All you have to do is Boolean search. Now, what is Boolean search? Boolean search is just niching down your search to get the best queries for the best results for your queries, right? So what do? Put a quotation mark and just write content writer, quotation, content writer, and quotation looking for or hiring, and then you're going to see a lot of people. If you want to do that on Google, put the site. So you do Twitter colon content writer and hiring. So you're going to see a lot of people hiring on Twitter. Another place you can use, which is very important, is Well Found. Well Found is great because you see a lot of startups on Well Found. I know this is a lot of information coming to you right now, but just get a book and a biro and just be writing down everything I've said, right? So Well Found is a platform where you see startups who are hiring for different roles, low competition roles, right? So all you have to do is write or type Well Found that's your colon content writer in quotations and hiring in quotations, or just content writer in quotations, and you're going to see a lot of jobs, people that have been hiring before, people that have hired, and all of that. And here's something you should also do: when people are calling for content writers or whatever role you're doing, don't go immediately, because there's going to be a lot of competition at that time, and so you may not be able to get the jobs at that time, right? Because there are a lot of other people that are better at what they do than you are, right? So just wait a bit. After a month, after 2 months, reach out to those people again. Most times they've either hired some people and they're not very good with those people, or another hiring round is brewing, and so when you reach out to them, you get to be first on their list, right? That's another hack, another thing you can do. Then another thing you can do is job boards, not the job boards of Upwork, Fiverr, and the rest. Job boards on Slack channels, right? There are a lot of Slack channels you can join as a newbie. For example, if you're a marketing person, there's Superpath. Superpath is great because you see a lot of people from all over the world in one Slack group, and there's a job board on the Slack channel where they post different freelance gigs, full-time gigs, different jobs, and you can apply to them. There are no competition. In fact, one of the jobs, my full-time jobs that I got, it was through Superpath. I saw the job there and I applied to the job, and that was it, right? So use Slack channels. If you just trying to get into a niche. For example, I wanted to start writing health tech content, right? So I went to Google and I searched for Slack channels for health tech professionals, and I saw a lot of them, a number of them, and I joined those channels and I started reaching out to people on those Slack channels, and I got a number of responses, people that needed me to write for their medical devices, for different things. So that's something you can do, Slack channels. Now, the next thing you should do is personal branding. Now, when you're starting, it's very easy to say, what do I have to say? I'm not an authority in my field, so I don't have anything to say, so there's no need to build my personal brand. But that is a lie, because the approach you can take when you're starting out is build in public. Tell people what you're learning, tell people what you're building, tell people the jobs that you've applied for. Carry them on your journey. That way, people know that you're not a scam. They can see you, they can grow with you. You're not hiding, you're not saying that you're an authority when you're not. You're just growing in public. You're sharing what you're learning, you're sharing what you're doing, you're sharing your clients, you're just sharing everything really. And I promise you, building your personal brand is the best way to not just get your first clients, but to keep getting returning clients over and over again. Now, the last way is to get outsourced jobs. There are other freelancers who have a lot on their plate that would love to outsource to you. All you have to do is reach out to them, tell them that you would love to take on spillover work, and that's it. So I know then when I was starting out, I reached out to a lot of freelance writers. I didn't tell them I'm looking for a job and that's it. No, because they're not hiring for roles. What I told them was, oh, I'm starting out and I'm trying to get a lot of experience under my belt. Please, do you have any spillover content you would love to outsource? I would really love to help you with them, right? So when you say that, they know that you're not reaching out to the wrong person. You're just asking for spillover work, and that's it. Sometimes they may not even have spillover work, but they know someone that's hiring, and they may have worked in an agency that is constantly hiring. They can put in a word for you and you get the job, right? So I think with these steps, you would get your first clients in no time. I know this is a lot of information and you need to do a lot of implementation, because the truth is, watching this video will not get you your first clients. What will get you your first clients is doing what I said in this video. And it may feel like a lot, but you can start from somewhere. And this is a bonus tip. A bonus tip is to reach out to clients who have just finished hiring or who are currently hiring, even though they're not hiring for your role. For example, I reached out to this brand who was hiring for accounts executives, for managing directors, and just some other things. They were not hiring for a writer. But I reached out to them, I sent them an email saying, "Hello, this. I saw that you were recently hiring for some roles. I was wondering, are you also on the lookout for a content writer?" Simple. Most times, people that are hiring a lot of roles for a lot of roles, they have just raised funding and they have enough money to spare for hiring different roles. Maybe they've not even thought about your role. So when you talk to them, when you tell them, ask them about it, it brings it to mind, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we could use a content writer," and that's it. So this particular brand told me to send my CV, and the rest they say is what? History. So when you do this, I promise you, you're going to be getting your first client. So when you've implemented all these steps in this video, please leave a comment telling me that, "Oh, Favor, I did what you said and I got a client." Thank you so much. If there's something else you'd love me to talk about or something else you'd like me to shed more light on, please tell me in the comments, and like this video, because YouTube algorithm is going to send this video to other people who may need this information, and all you have to do is to what? Like the video. So please do that, subscribe, and do all the good stuff. Thank you so much.